Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome back to yet another beautiful weekend of some Digimon Locals at AI Fest, where geeks gather. This is going to be the second video of the channel of a full-on tournament, and starting off we have yours truly on the left, piloting my Metal Garurumon Gabumon from last week, with 1 to 2 edits here and there, and on my right you have my good friend Gerard, who will be piloting his Blue Hybrid, going back to his roots. Gerard actually started with Blue Hybrid, moved away, going to, if I'm not mistaken, was X Antibody Dora Greymon, and then he fiddled about with some other things, and now he seems to be like just chilling out with some old stuff. I did manage to get a little bit of a better angle this week with the view, so I hope it helps a bit more. Looks like we're done setting up, and I'm starting us off here with a Pagu, going into a Gabumon, going into a Gabu X. Oh, love the beautiful starts that this deck provides. Then going into a blue memory boost, looking for something, getting myself a Garurumon there, and putting the rest at the bottom. Okay, Gerard's turn goes on, so he matches a Kurimon, then goes into a Strabby, searching for the top, getting a Magna off the hit. Gotta love it when they hit something at least. Just straighten me up the deck there a bit. Then he plays a Sorojo for turn and passes along to me. Looks like I don't promote here, and I'm just going for that Garurumon, going into the Garurumon X. It just keeps going, and I just keep drawing. I think the logic here was I was worried about Hybrid's ability to detach the cards underneath your Digimon, so I didn't want that to happen. Oh, looks like I'm going for a big burst here with something. Oh, going down with the Gabumon to go for a search, finding the, wow, both an X Antibody as well as a Garurumon X. Then we're going to a Garurumon for the past turn, choking him at 1 memory. Let's see what he can do with that. Not like it's not a lot. Oh, and then on the attack there we see the Sorojo's ability to, on attack, strip a source from one of your Digimon, drops down a Koji for turn, and passes it along. Looks like I'm going to Digivolve into that X Garuru, go into the beautiful EX01 Weregaruru promo for that double draw. I get a draw from the Digivolve as well as its ability of on Digivolve draw. He's dropping down the Pokemon, searching top 5 for a hybrid, and I believe he could have also grabbed the Tamer if I'm not mistaken, but he just grabbed the hybrid. But that's perfectly fine. Here, passing it back to me, going into the Were X. I think I'm deciding here whether I want to go for that Garurumon swing, because bouncing the Boku seems a little bit bad, because that just means he gets to drop it down again, but I don't want him to have as much more advantage as he's getting, so I'm just going to go for it. I think I just go ham. I am checking here, making sure I understand, because when you're playing against hybrid, it is important to make sure you note all the Tamers on field, because every single one of them is basically a level 3 Digimon, so always keep an eye on the Tamers because they are deadly. So I do my full-on things, I hit a Madoka Betamon in security, and I bounce that Boku to hand, passing him back to just 1 memory. So I'm choking him out quite nicely. He hasn't set a memory tamer. Ooh, Tommy, just a strip. The reason I didn't strip the X Antibody is because X Antibody has an effect that says it cannot be stripped in the sources, which will look great for me here. So I swing, I hit into a Korikakumon. The worst thing to hit, I guess, is security, because it just means there's 1 less in his deck. And looks like I'm going for a search here. I'm getting the Metal Garurumon, losing a mat, which is a little bit unfortunate, because I could really use some memory boosting here and some draw power, but it is what it is. Passing it over, he does get proc off Sorojo because my Gabumon has no sources, giving him an extra 2 memory. Going down to 1 with that Pokemon, hitting a Strabi, gonna grab that. Okay, I must be mistaken about that extra draw off Boku. I could have sworn it gave you Tamers as well as Digimon, but it's fine. Swinging down with a Kumamon. Kumamon does strip on Digivolve. I think I consistently, throughout all our matches, misunderstood, because it's been so long since I've played against Kumamon. I keep stripping 2 for some reason instead of 1, just giving my opponent more advantage than really necessary. So here I go play a Metal Storm, and I bounce his Korikakumon back to his hand. I know I keep bouncing a lot and some people will say I'm crazy. My concept was that playing hybrid is a little bit difficult because you do need to pay still a lot because tamers are expensive. You're not digivolving a lot. You're pretty much hard playing most of the time. So pushing his cards back to his hand while still maintaining his advantage was a bit of a choice. So I was like, couldn't be too bad. And then, yep, Magna Garurumon. So Koji allows you to attach a 5 hybrid Digimon from your hand or field underneath the Koji to warp Digivolve into the Magna. Here I think I'm just taking a read on how the Magna works and the single inherit it gets from the Koji, just to make sure I understand how his deck functions, because it has been a while. Looks like he's gonna drop down another Pokemon, going for another Surge, finding a Kumamon off the top and dropping the rest. Side note, is it hurting anyone else that half his deck is right side up, half his deck is upside down? It's hurting me a lot. Alright, cool. Drops another Sworjo for the turn, passes along, looking for that super boost of security, of memory when it passes back and I have something without any sources. So I really got to get on top of this Gabumon just like that, because it is at the start of the main phase, so as long as I get it going, he can't really get much advantage. Looks like we're going ham here already. I can't remember if I'm looking here at... right. Here I'm looking at one of the changes I made to the deck. I added in a single Metal Garurumon. Not too big a fan of this. This is definitely going to be changed out. I'm probably going to add another Gabumon. I understand why this card's played, because on Digivolve, for every 4 cards in my hand, I gain a memory. It's a 4-cost Digivolve, so I believe I had enough to bring me back to 0, and I was just like, wow, that's great. But aside from this one situation, I don't think I had many times where it came up. Swing at security, hit a Strabby, die, but that's fine, at least gets rid of the Sora Joe target. I'm going to swing here with the metal, starting to proc all the effects going on here. First one doesn't really matter too much. I think it's the Digitimer to give me 1,000 if something was bounced. Nothing was bounced just yet. I'm then going to do a little bit of stripping of my own with the Garurumon, gain a memory off the Were Garurumon, and just checking there. The Garurumon had an on-attacking effect, but it wasn't prevalent. And then we went for just the metal, bouncing the Boku. And I'm noting here that this was probably a big mistake on my part. Should have bounced the Magna. Oh wait, I couldn't bounce the Magna. I'm sorry, ignore me. God, Metal Garurumon bounces the lowest. I should have held the Metal Storm if I had remembered Magna was a thing, technically speaking. But yeah, Pokemon had to be bounced because Metal Garurumon bounces the lowest level on the field. Going for that Pokemon again, because if I keep giving it to him, why not keep using it? Finds a Strabby, I believe it was, off the top, and just figuring out what it is he wants to do with the rest of his turn. He's got 3 swings on board, he's got 2 in the back, but it doesn't matter because he's on 0, so hybrids are difficult. I do play Ice Wall, I do play Hammer Spark, so he does have to be careful of that. Looks like he's getting some stripping going with the Magnas and the Sora Joe. I think we're just reading off effects, trying to figure out how things will proc. He gained 1 memory, if I'm not mistaken, from the attack of a separate effect. And I do believe later in the turn, we remembered, again they're stripping 2, completely unnecessary, but it is what it is. I'll be sure to read my opponent's cards next time. But here we do eventually find a Gabumon to Digivolve into. I know we have a mat in hand. A little bit too late. My mats didn't come in very clutch game 1, because obviously had I found them a bit earlier, I would have got a bit more memory to work with and a bit more card draw to be a bit more aggressive like I was last weekend. Unfortunately, the cards were not with me this weekend, so I go for an Ice Wall here, crashing into the Magna just because it's putting in too much work for him. Go for the mat, hoping, I believe I don't have a Gabumon in hand, and I'm praying to go into one. But once again, he has plenty of memory. He's got 4. That's at least, he can at least cope with 2 swings, provided he doesn't Digivolve. But I believe I don't die this turn, because on every swing he loses 2 memories. So he'll get 1 swing, 2 swings. Goes with the Quarry for 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't get a stun or anything, but that's fine. I think he was just looking for the body. I think he's prepping for next turn. Pokemon gives him 2 memory every time he digivolves. Well, there's one of the Gabumons I was looking for. But I forgot about the Pokemon's ability to give memory every time a tamer digivolves, so made life a little bit easier on his side. And we're just seeing over here, he does gain memory from one of his inheritable effects, keeping him at 0, just enough to sweep me out for game 1. And we're going to just kick it off then into game 2. Yeah, it wasn't exactly the best showing. Last weekend I had a better run with my MetalBond. You can see me chaos shuffling here. I don't normally chaos shuffle between matches, but just that was excessively difficult. While I did start off great with the full-on chain of Digivolutions, I slowed down way too much for no reason whatsoever aside from just my hand was not working with me. So I think I'm chaos shuffling here just to get that hopeful better setup going, and we'll see if it's done anything. But yeah, from that first showing I'm not too confident myself. Cool, so we're sorting out here. I do believe I chose to go first, if I'm not mistaken, because getting that initial setup is just so good for Metal Garurumon. Yep, there it is. Hatching the Puyoumon. Again, still looking for a better option than that. Going for the Gabu X instead of a Gabu into Gabu X. Clearly I didn't have the cards for it, dropping a Mat. Hatching and going for a Boku. Gerard finds a Strabby off the top and adds that to hand. Digivolves immediately, getting that nice draw, and playing another Strabby for another search as a Tamer and a Magna. Ah, right, it's the Strabby that adds 2, not the Boku. And passes along with that. I'm deciding here whether to promote and gain. I think I'm just looking for a burst here. Arguably I should have just held, but I need something for me. There's a Gabumon. That does look very attractive right about now, especially with how his deck functions, so obviously I'm just going to grab that straight away. Just dropping another Mat, looking for that future turn of just good memory gain and just swinging in, because I do feel like against Blue Hybrid, Gabumon is probably the best way to go. Looks like it goes here into a Leomon, which is a spicy take he's added to the deck for this exact moment. Swings to security, dies, and when Leomon dies, it gains 2 memory. We hit into an X antibody, adding it to my hand and gaining a memory in the process, kind of choking him out a bit on what Gerard can do on his turn. But with a blue player, especially a blue hybrid player, they really don't need that much memory anyways. Swings in with Boku, dies, and drops a Sora Joe for the turn, so you can start getting those sources going. Looks like I'm getting a double Digivolve here in the raising area. Still not the Gabumon I want. I'm looking ideally for the one that pairs with the Gabumon to attack 3 times, but I don't think I have the luxury of choice here, so I'm going to have to maybe burst down this Gabumon as quickly as possible. I can't remember if I decided to do it now or just in the next turn, but oh, looks like I'm going for a pop of security. Yep, looks like I'm not doing it just yet and rather just going for the build up on this turn. So go straight, no X evolutions, just straight digivolving a normal Gurumon into a Were X, attaching the X antibody, going for a Metal Storm just to make it cheaper, because Metal Storm is 7 cost, but becomes 5 if you have an X antibody on field. Looks like Gerard hatches then, goes into the Strabby, probably dropping, yep, drops a Tamer down, stripping basically most of my sources. And we start realizing that X antibody is broken against Blue Hybrid specifically, because Tommy would normally not allow me to attack or block with the Digimon after it's stripped, but because of the source, because X antibody cannot be stripped, it always has at least one source under it, which is just fantastic. Oh, go for a Strabby and hitting nothing but Tamers. All gas, no brakes. I do finally promote that Gabumon, and I go into the metal here, gaining a memory. I arguably should have just gone straight for the Gabumon, because at this point, he's got enough damage on board. He's got the Strabby, he's got another Strabby being promoted on up. Oof, dying in security to a Korikaku. And he's got 2 Tamers down. doesn't look too great because Hybrid can really chew out games in this kind of a simplified game state where you don't really have a board, but they have a lot of tamers and you've given them a lot of memory. And showing you here, yep, that's exactly what happened. So unfortunately, I didn't manage to clutch out game 1, so unfortunately this is all you're going to see of me for the whole tournament. But at least in this way, silver lining, I get to show you guys some of the amazing decks we have here at AI Fest, and I get to show you some of my friends' actual, like, really spicy builds. Like, you got to see three people playing against me, and one of them will be a returning player. Spoilers. But at least this way you get to see a few more people. So here I'm moving away, leaving Gerard at the top tables where he deserves to be. And coming on up to face the challenge here is Kawin, Kanan's younger brother. And he will be piloting Imperial Dramon. I don't want to call it Destruction because it does have Armor Rush technically in it. So I'm just going to say Imperial Dramon Armor, for lack of a better term. So it looks like the players are busy setting up, checking out hands. I can't remember what the die roll showed, but it looks like Gerard won and is going first. So Hatching going to Madoki, starting with the Boku, pretty strong start. Wow, that is one hell of a mull. Goes for the Kumamon for... Oh, he's thinking on the Kumamon ad or the Strabby for more searching. Goes for the Strabby. He's lost now his dual tamers, but it is what it is. Oh, it looks like he switched it out there. Never mind. Okay, we're hatching a Demi going into a EX01 Vmon, slapping down the BT8 Vmon and going for a search off the top, finding a Sora and Mats. Similar tamer lineup, I see. Alright, cool. So where are we going from here? Just dropping the Sora and Mats and leaving it at that. That rhymed. Alright, so we're going to pull up the Madoki over here on Gerard's turn, and looks like he's dropping the Strabby immediately just for that good search. Seeing a lot. There's a great set there, but this Strabby, I believe, can only grab one, so he grabs the Digimon instead of the Tamers. Just reviewing some of the sources, because everyone hasn't seen Gerard play this in a while. Okay, drops one of the Sora Joes that wasn't sent to the bottom of the deck and passes it over to Kawin. Kawin's just reviewing his hand over here. I don't know if he's deciding whether he wants to promote the Vmon or what to... Oh, no, he's choosing what to Digivolve. Goes into the Magnamon for 3. Let's see what he does with that. Alright, goes into a Stingmon in the Raising for 2, passing the turn over. Let's see. Alright, we'll go for a Hatch. Another Madoki. Wow. Really playing the Madoki package to stop the memory game. Alright, goes into the Kuma, stripping the Source. This is really a bad matchup if Kawin was playing pure armor, but because he's playing Imperial, it makes this a little bit easier. It would be difficult because with oh, Gerard swinging in, forgetting Magnamon is a blocker. Yeah, gotta love to see it when that happens. I know I do as an Armor Rush player. Well, not that you would know. Swings in with the Kumamon, hitting in the security, and seems like trading out the security. Gerard goes for another Strabby, sees a lot of hybrid, grabbing another Strabby for future searches, leaving the Kumamon and the Pokemon. Alright, passing it over to Kawin, we're promoting and unsuspending here. Magni just going in for the swing straight. Going into a Jogris of Dino Bee. Okay. Respectable. I think just deciding here what to tap into the dome. Oh, nice. Doesn't want him to get that free memory from the evolution of Tamers. Good board control. Very nicely played. Well done. Goes into the Imperial Dramon Dragon mode, using the effect to play 2 level 4 or lower, 1 green, 1 blue Digimon from the sources. Choosing the Stingmon as his green and the Magna as his blue, so he has that blocker back in play. Great choices all around. Good control of the board state, and pretty much I think has the momentum so far. It's a 1-1 trade on security, but I feel like Kawin has sort of a good momentum going here. Oof, going for the Howling, stripping the sources and stunning the Magna. Unfortunate. Alright, Strabby going in. Just a reminder there of Howling stripping 3, so stripping the... Oh no, the Sora Joe stripping the last one. Hitting the security, dying in the security as well. Alright, passing it over with 1. Okay, you've got 2 memory to play. What are we doing? Oh, another sword. Just Tamer City. Alright, hatching and going into Labramon. Interesting choice of a rookie. Going into the XB for that beautiful split of jamming. You've got to love to see it. Now, are we going for a Paladin mode on top of this Dragon mode? Are we looking for a future Joggerus? No, we're just going to swing straight on in, dying in a trade with a Magnamon. Oof. Well, Magnagarurumon, but oof. Pain. Dropping down another Sora Mat, and ooh. Forgetting the other things in play with all that memory gain. It's just showing off to the camera there the dictionary he has for a hand. Alright, Charlotte hatching his Digitama, looking at what he's going to do next. But with all the memory in the universe, I think he's fine. Korikakumon to stun the blocker. And I think that just might be game. Oh wait, he cannot stun with Korikakumon because it needs a hybrid or a tamer underneath. Alright, cool. So we still have the... Whoop, never mind. Going into the Beowulf. The Beowulf on attack will bounce. So that might cause an issue here with the Magnamon. Swinging, bouncing, and bouncing. Yep, there it is. Looks like just confirming in what order they do that for blocking purposes and the damage steps. Goes through, and Quinn's now down to 2 security. And Harrow's looking good, going for another Hammer Spark. Oof. Do I see a Magnagaruru in Quinn's future, or just a whole bunch of hybrid? Because with that, he's at least got 2 swings on hybrids, and then still enough to choke out. If he's got 2 Kumamons, that's enough for the 4 memory he has. Nope, looks like he's making space for another Tamer. What's it gonna be, Gerard? I think the optimal choice here would be if he has it to go for it. No, doesn't have it, so he's going for the Strabi, searching for it. There's one of the Kumamons. Obviously didn't have enough hybrids in hand to just swing for that good game. That XBmon is going to be coming up with jamming and threatens a Pyildramon play into an Imperial Dramon. So we'll see what happens. Dropping a max down and getting a lot of memory from the hand sizes. Promotes that XV, probably going to swing in and then Joggerus into Pyil. No, playing it down the Vmon and into the Stingmon. Swings in, gains that memory. Joggerus is with the new Stingmon because of the Soul Stripping into the Pyil. Swings once, swings twice. Oh, and clutches the game out. Madness. So for anyone wondering, Summoning Sickness does not count with Joggerus or DNA Digivolve. When Digimon DNA Digivolve, they ignore the fact that they haven't been on field for a turn, and they just swing it in. It's kind of why the mechanic is a little bit busted, because not only does it Digivolve for nothing, but it resets everything, any effects the previous Digimon had, whether that be loss of DP or loss of security attack. Stunning, anything. Alright, looks like Kawin's kicking it off. Electing to go second, interesting enough. Probably looking for that extra memory Kawin's giving him. Hitting so much pain off Kawin's search, but still getting a Paladin mode off of it. While Karod's search is looking a bit better with a Koji, Kuma, and Magnagaruru. Looks like he's going for the Koji and the Kumamon instead of the Magna. Goes for a Hammer Spark, pushing it back up to 1. Probably looking to choke here with a... Oh no, just giving him straight through with Sora Joe. Alright, we're promoting, going into the Raidramon. Tapping the Strabi and just swinging at security. Armor Purging to protect. And just trading it out with the Strabi, looking to exchange. Going into a Davis and Ken for the following turn. Pretty good tamer for the strategy because it gives him a memory at the start of his main phase, not the start of his turn, but the start of his main phase, for one for a blue if he has a blue in play, and one for if he has green, which is a really good dual tamer to have, especially in this deck, especially when you've got green-blue Digimon, which meet both requirements with just one card. So swings in, hits a Strabby, drops down another V, grabs a Pyildramon. Oh, that is a good top deck right there. Speaking of good top decks, Karat going for a Boku, hitting a Strabby, and looks to be a little flustered in my opinion. Not really hitting the advantage he hit against me, or the strides he was having in game 1. Granted he lost, but he was at least at a more palatable board states than this. Oof. Having to go into Akuma to strip, and gaining 2 off the Boku, so he doesn't pass turn just yet, and then stunning with the Korikakumon. Okay, gaining 2 memory off Davis and Kent because Raijamon is a green and a blue, and hitting up a blue memory boost, getting a Vmon in the trade-off there. Don't know exactly what he can do. Goes for a Stingmon here. Obviously looking for that next turn Pyildramon play. But I'm not too certain if he will survive that long, because he's got one. Karat has 1 free Digivolve because of the Pokemon, and he already has 3 swings on board. Oh, or he doesn't have the hybrids in hand to use, so he's going for a Beowulf to hopefully swing and bounce one of his Jogras targets away. Issue is, both of his targets on field were greens. I know Regimon's green-blue, but the important thing was he's already a green. So Imperial always has blues in play. Greens are normally where they kind of choke out a bit, but with a blue and raising, it's not going to be that hard to Jogras on his following turn. Going for the Korikakumon, looking to stun here, but I somehow don't think it's going to be enough. Swings in, dies, swings in again, survives, swings with the Boku. Oh, and a clutched out Megadeth, bouncing the Beowulf to hand. Oof. Security bombs do be on fire. Just explaining here, I can see the Karat that he does get the 2 memories still, because he will be getting 2 Digimon in play that meet the requirements at the start of his main phase, because in Raising he'll promote, and by main phase he'll get the memory. Double trigger there. He does still have the memory boost, but it looks like he's going to choose to go setup before anything else. Swings on in. Don't know what happened there quickly with the memory. Goes for the Jogras into the Pyildramon. Not much to do here. Bottom decks the Korikakumon with the Pyildramon's Digivolution skill, and just swings in to the Bokumon. Right, the memory gain from the Inheritables. I forgot about that. I hope they're keeping into account the offset memory because of Ice Wall, but it does seem to be, they do seem to be doing that. Alright, there we go. Now we're swinging over to Karat's turn, and with an absolutely eviscerated board. This is not looking too great on his side. So he just hatches, Digivolves into a Strabby. I think he's weighing up his options here. Pyildramon's gonna swing twice next turn. So unless he can stun that, he is in for a world of pain. Or unless that last security is something amazing. He doesn't have many options to work with here, so let's see what he does. Goes for a Strabby search, and with that resigns to his fate. Let's see if the security is the only thing that will save him. And it is. Oh, but Tommy, unfortunate. Well, Kawin clutches out game 2 over here, winning it a swift 2-0. Seems like to be a theme on my channel with 2-0s being swift. But now for the finals. And this is a doozy. So here we are at the finals. We have Kawin once again on the right this time. And the pure sweet irony is he's versing his brother Kanan. You remember him from last week, winner with the Mustemon. Well, he thought winning with Mustemon wasn't enough representation for my channel, so he lovingly decided to swing on by and play D-Reapers. So Kanan was like, I'm gonna show people the world. So here you go, Kanan piloting D-Reapers and Kawin piloting Imperialdramon armor. Let's see what happens. Shuffling up the eggs over there, and looks like Kawin is going first. Hatches, goes into a Vmon, plays a Sora and Matt, passing to Kanan. There's the Mother D Reaper playing a Searcher for free, gaining it, drawing, and paying absolutely nothing for that. Dropping down a Izzy and a TK and Kari. Looks like Kawin's just going for a Devolution Pass. Bringing up that Mother D Reaper and attaching the Searcher to it. Playing a Puppet. And getting a Searcher and I believe that's Bubbles, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, looks like we're dropping another Searcher, getting a draw, attaching it, playing another one just for the draw, and playing a Bubbles to slot it under the Mother D Reaper. Damn. Kawin is getting hard choked out here, with only being able to make like one play at most a turn. Kanan is not giving him any room to breathe. Starting off with some swings, confidently going into that security, playing a Puppet for free basically, because Mother D Reaper has 3 attached to it. So for anyone that doesn't know, this entire deck revolves around Mother D Reaper, the Digitama, and the cards you keep seeing in play called Searchers. Searchers can have up to 50 copies in his deck. They play for a reduced cost, and when they get played, they draw a card. Once per turn, they can be attached underneath the Mother D Reaper, but other D Reaper cards allow him to attach more. And for every card underneath that Digitama, all his Digimon reduce their play cost by 1. So he's basically playing big mons for free and not a care in the world. Putting in a little bit of pressure here, Kawin seems to be going for it as best he can, going into Imperial Digimon Dragon mode, spitting out that XV and that Stingmon, going for a blue memory boost, and finding off the top a V. Paladin mode might have been a good choice as well, but I don't know what it is you might be thinking about. Puppet going in for the swing. Thankfully the Mother D Reaper can't attack, so the board state as it is, Kanan doesn't really have much presence. Ooh, going for a Jerry, searching off the top, finding a Searcher and attaching it. Ah, you hate to see it. Alright, hitting the memory boost, giving him 3, because why yellow memory boost gives 3, no one's gonna know, but hey. Oh, and comes down the Wyvern's Breath to kill out that Imperial Digimon. Oh, unfortunate. Hatching a Sunamon, going into a Labra. Going for that XV, hoping to hit. Going for it with a Sting to kill off the Puppet. Going into Pail and bottoming the Jerry. Swinging in once with a Pail. Swinging in twice. Oh, hitting into a Gates. Recovering one. Whoa! Giga Death! Wow. That is incredible. Ooh. Unfortunate losing the Imperial there. But at least the gate is no longer on the field, but I somehow don't think that's going to matter too much. Swarming the ball. Oh, and the Reaper comes down. So Reaper, you can strip 7 plus sources under the Mother D Reaper, and every time you swing with Reaper, it unsuspends itself and attaches 2. So Reaper, when it hits down, it can swing multiple times. Each Searcher has the inheritables to give it 1000 DP. Whew. It is a rough deck when it gets going, I will tell you that much. So there goes game 1. Hopefully Kawin can clutch this out in games 2 and 3. Come on Kawin, I believe. Do not let the evil protagonist win. The dark protagonist that is Kanan. We have a running joke in our locals that Kanan he's way too good for his own good. Alright, looks like we're going for a V into an XV. It looks like Kanan starting off strong with a Searcher into a Jerry, which is interesting because I think he would want to hold that. Going Davis getting hard, playing a Rageramon, needing to get to that Jogger's fast. Tapping the Jerry to go for a search, hitting the Searcher, attaching it there. Oh, X antibody, a spicy tech for D Reaper decks because it can't be stripped, and Mother D Reaper just reduces cost for having sources. It doesn't check if they're D Reapers. So that X antibody helps a lot. Oof, dropping down another Jerry for future searches. That's at least 2 searches now on his turn. Oof, having to hard drop another Ragemon. Oh, this is painful. Oh, you can see Cohen on the side there. Poor guys, poor kids suffering, man. When your brother just abuses you at locals. We're up to already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources. Dropping down a gate as well to give everything minus security 2, if I'm not mistaken. Searches, finds the Pile, just hard digivolves into it, but I feel like at this point it might be a bit on the slow side. Goes for a Jerry, attaching another. We are within already Reaper range. Or is Kanan just going for excess damage? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're not there just yet. That's 6 searches and 1 X antibody. Oh, the insult of a double gate and on play, recover +1. Whew, that's just insulting. Oof, doesn't look like much options, so we're just going to promote, try and clean up this board a bit with 2 swings. Since we can't hit security, might as well go for the Digimon. Memory boost, just so we don't pass the turn just yet. Checking, grabbing the Beamon from BT8. Oh, a little bit of confusion there on where the memory is supposed to be. Looks like we're settling on... after all the maths. Oof. This was a long discussion about where the memory was supposed to be, apparently. But they should get this resolved quickly, because at this point, it does not look like Cohen has much of a chance in this game. And after losing game 1, I think, unfortunately, the Dark Protagonist has won, and Kanan, I think, is going to take this. There's just way too much advantage on this board right now, and not enough on Cohen's side. Oh, there it is, the attaching. Are we going to see a Reaper soon? Because he's already at 7. Is he just going to go for it? Oh! So, Gigadeath tapping 1 card and then sending all tapped. Oh, that Jerry should also have technically been sent to the bottom of the deck. Because it sends, I believe, up to 9 or something crazy like that. Not that it looks like it's going to make much of a difference. There's way too much 7 security on Kanan's side because of those gates. Cohen not being able to do any chip damage whatsoever. Just struggling to trade out sources. Getting a blocker Magna, but it's not going to do much, especially with something like Reaper. Oof. Got 6 ticks, which I'm assuming either means he got 6k or he got 6 armor Digimon, which would mean he got 12. 12k DP plus his normal 7. That's 19k DP. That's a pretty decent blocker. Reaper is 15, but... okay, no, it must have been 6. Oof. Rip. You hate to see it.